So we're going to do some basic video editing, and we'll start by looking at the interface. This window here on the far left, this is the media window for the project. This is where all your clips, bits of music, titles, sequences, everything appears in this. And then next to that, this blank window here is the resource monitor, and this is where you can preview your clips and do a bit of basic editing. And then underneath here is the timeline, and this is where you construct your edit. So your clips go on here and you cut and paste them, move them around, and you'll be able to look at your edit in this window here, which is the program monitor, okay, which monitors your sequence. In the left bottom corner you have the media browser, so you can look for material on there. You also have info. More importantly, you have the effects window. This is where you drag and drop effects like video transitions, audio effects like dynamics and noise removal, things like that. If you want to make something black and white, that's all found here. And you have like an undo history as well. So to start with, we're going to use the reference monitor to edit in. So let's get a clip, and what you do is you click on the little icon to the side of the clip there, hold down the mouse button, it turns into a fist, a little hand that you've got it, you've grabbed it, so pull it over and drop it in the reference monitor, and then your image should appear. And then we can preview it. You can press play on here. You can click on and hold the mouse button on this little blue plectrum thing here, which is the playback bar, so you can scroll through it. There's also a shuttle wheel. You can do the same thing, and you can go through it in slow motion if you move the cursor more towards the center of the shuttle bar. Yep. You can also step through it using the arrow keys, so you can get like frame by frame. Okay, so to edit this, what I want to do is just start the clip as my hand comes into shot. So let's get it to there, and I mark my in point, which is the start of the clip. So I go to these little icons here that are like brackets, and I click on mark in. I'm going to move the play bar along until I've picked up the tea bag and my hand comes out of shot using the arrow keys, and then I close the brackets, the mark out icon. Let's click on that. So now I have a selected highlighted area, which is my edit, and all I do then is click on the image, hold down the mouse button, and I can drag that into the timeline like so. Now at the moment it looks very small, so what we need to do is zoom in. And at the bottom here, there is the zoom in and zoom out controls. So I can click on this slider and drag it out, and I can zoom in, so I can see what I'm doing a bit better. On the timeline, we have video tracks and audio tracks running vertically, and then we have time running horizontally. And you can have as many video and audio tracks as the computer can handle, which is quite a lot. And I suppose they work a bit similar to Photoshop in terms of layers, and it's sort of numerical, so the video layer 3 is on top of video layer 1 and will cover it up. Or if you're doing a sort of transition, it works with opacity, so you can make it transparent, you'll see the layers underneath. I'll explain that a bit later on when we look at that. So I've got my first edit here, and I can press play on the program monitor and see what we've got. You'll notice it's kind of zoomed in a bit. That's because there's a function here that sets the zoom, so we're going to put it set fit, so it'll fit the screen. And we've got the same controls that are on the reference monitor, so I'm going to take it back. These are quite handy. These go to previous edit points, so I'm going to click on that, and that will go to the start of the clip. Let's press play, and we can watch what we've got so far. So I'm going to add another clip using the same process. So I'm going to get mug, going to click on that, drag it into the reference monitor. Let's get as my hand comes into shot and picks it up. which is somewhere around there. Set my in point. Oh, just picked up and grabbed it. Set my out point, click on that, and drag it into the timeline. Now currently it's on snap to mode, which is the little icon that looks like a magnet, a bar magnet. So as I put it near the clip, it automatically snaps and sticks to it, so there's no gap, and that's that icon here, snap to. Okay, sometimes you might not want that, so you can take that off, and it allows you to place the clip anywhere on the timeline you want without snapping it. It also allows you to kind of overlay it. Now you won't get both videos coming through. Basically it kind of overlaps it and will play the video on top. So it kind of like cuts it, deletes it underneath. I'll show you. I put it there, and then I take it away, and it's left a kind of gap. If you want to undo, just press Ctrl Z, and it takes you back, and it'll do multiple stages of that. Okay, so now I've got my two edits. Let's just play that. You can also edit directly on the timeline. I'm just going to undock this panel so you can see a bit better. Let's click undock. Let's drag this down here so we can see it. Okay, so you can move the play bar through. And what I'm going to do is just drag another clip and work directly on the timeline. Let's get the fridge open and closed shot. So I've just dragged that straight in. As you can see, it's a bit big. Now on the clip, if you move the cursor to the end of the clip, you get the trim tool, which is this sort of red brackets with the arrows in. And if I hold down the mouse button, I can drag in the clip. You can see it moving in the program window. So I'm going to get it as the fridge door opens, which is about here. Let's move that in a bit closer. Set play bar, look at that. There you go. And then I want to get it to just about where I'm shutting the fridge door there. And now I'm going to use some of the tools that are in the toolbar here. And I'm going to use the razor tool, which is this thing here. It looks like a razor. Just click on that, and my icon turns to a razor with a kind of cut mark in it. And I move it to the red position there where I want to edit. It's press the mouse button, it's chopped that clip up. And I'm going to get rid of the other bit that I don't want. By clicking on it, it's selected, it's highlighted, and I just press the delete key. Okay. So now I've got my other bit of edit. I can trim from the other side as well. So if I position my cursor at the end of the clip, the brackets facing the other direction, and I can drag that in and out like so. Okay. So I can tidy it up. Let's put it there. Let's move this out of the way. And now I can pick my clip up and move it back. I'm going to put snap back on and then stick it together. Take it back to the start and press play and see what we've got. You'll notice it's playing back a bit jerky. That's because I'm running a capture software at the same time, but it would play back normally. You might find when you're editing that it does play back jerky, and you're not running any extra software, and it might be because the software needs to render out the sequence, because what we're looking at here is a preview, and you can tell if something is rendered or not because of this yellow bar here. It's green when it's fully rendered and red when it needs rendering. Now this is fine on here. If I just create a quick effect on it, let's just bung this on here, and as you can see it's gone red and it needs rendering. So if I play that back, it might be that it'll play back jerky, particularly if you're working with high definition footage at a full frame rate. So the way you do that is go to sequence and render effects in work area, and it does another preview like so. And now you can see it's gone green. So if you do have problems like that, it might need rendering. So just to recap, what we'll do is, so you can edit in the reference monitor by dragging a clip in. Let's get this one, remove T-Bag. You can set your in and your out points. Click on the image, drag it into the timeline. You can also edit on the timeline using the trim tool by moving the cursor to the ends and the beginnings of the clip, drag it in and out. Let's put that there so you can see what we're doing. You can also cut things with the razor tool, like so, and then delete or move the clips about. And that's kind of the basics really. With those tools and those methods, you can sort of put together a video sequence.